Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's Friday night. I am well over an hour late or in divine timing, depending on how you want to look at it, guys. For our little session. Welcome to Free Yourself Fridays, guys. Hold tight right there. We're going to get the dramatics going so that we can really just enjoy all that this lovely Friday night has to offer us. Stay tuned, guys. Hey y'all, we doing the dramatics again just to get the vibes going. Hey Eerie. Yes, you can ask whatever you need to, my love. I'm in divine timing today. I had wifely duties today, so I'm running a little bit behind schedule, but definitely in divine timing. Put your question out there. I am here for you guys. Let's hang out for this Friday night and see what's about to unfold. We've got so much taking place next week. Oh God, what's coming? Who's coming towards you next? Interesting question, Eerie, because we kind of started this question last week, but we didn't like fully unpack it, right? We only saw a little bit about what the person, I guess you guys are going to be working through. So I definitely want to look into that for you. So next week, guys, we've actually got Mercury and I'm decent. I hope all is well. That's good. Nice to know that you're doing well. Thank you. Do you know what? I was thinking, am I actually saying their name correctly? So that's good to know. I'm glad that we're resonating on that level. That's what's up. That's good. We've got a lot taking place. I want to say with everything that's kind of going on in romance as well at the minute, Eerie. So we've got, that's what I was speaking about. Mercury and Jupiter's actually going direct on Monday. So we're going to be getting a lot of blessings, guys. I hope you guys are going to be like ready for all of the stuff that's about to be like bestowed upon us. I hope we're like in the vibration of receptivity because it's about to start flooding in. So Eerie, because I'm getting stuff straight off the bat in terms of your name is usually bothered. No, honestly, I feel like it's easy because your energy actually like expresses it. So I feel like your soul chose well with the name. I feel like it reflects your energy really quite well. So that's what's up. Love that for you. Hi, Lucy. Glad to see you in the room as well. I think we missed you last time. I don't think we managed to actually catch your question last time, but put it out there. We'd love to unpack it and dissect it for you. Eerie. The guides are saying a lot about what's coming, who's coming towards you in terms of romance. So if I look down, guys, it's because I'm like trying to go within myself to get a clearer vision on what's going on in my third eye so I can really kind of like bring it to the forefront of my consciousness for you guys. So what I'm seeing with the situation with you, Eerie, is is there somebody around you at the minute that there's an attraction to? Because I don't know. I feel like this person, the moment that you kind of, I guess the moment that you guys kind of connect with each other, or the moment that you guys kind of, I don't want to say the whole cliche stuff of like love at first sight. I don't feel like it's like that intensely dramatic, but it does feel like one of those things where your souls are resonating with each other, where it feels like, oh, you feel familiar, like I've known you before. Yeah. What I'm seeing, there is somebody you're attracted to. Well, that's what I'm trying to kind of identify, because they're trying to sort of like put across to me that there's like an attraction that's there, potentially even now. It's just that there's like an unfolding journey with you guys, where I wouldn't say shy, because I don't feel like that's your energy, but I'm feeling like the feminine in the space coming into the space may be a little bit of an introvert. That's the word I'm going to use. When I speak the girl, okay. When I see the girl, okay, okay. Yeah. From what I can see, there's an automatic attraction there between the both of you guys. Can you give me a name? You may not have to give me like full disclosure because obviously we want to keep this to as much. Okay, okay, so you're the introvert. Okay, okay, because I'm seeing a little bit of kind of like a really deep introspective sort of energy in this space. What I want to say is there's like I'm seeing five a 5 week situation. It feels like, so what they're showing me is like at the minute there's like little peak moments, but in the 5 week span of things there's like this big peak moment where things really start to push forward for you in terms of romance. I know last time we spoke as well, we had like a different timeline as well. I can't really remember the details of the timeline that they mentioned last time, but it seems like things are starting to develop for you. Oh, you only know her last name. Okay. Put out the last name out there. Let's dissect it, Eerie. Put out the last name and let's dissect it. I've got my romance cards here. We'll dissect it, unpack it a little bit, and kind of see potentially what may be sort of taking place in the situation. But it's only when I see the person in passing. Okay. Okay. I want to say this, Johnson. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, they're drawing me to the tarot to be able to kind of like dissect it a little bit. And then we're going to unpack it with the romance situation. What do you see, guys, with Eerie and last name Johnson? What do you see sort of taking place with that situation? Because it seems confusing, but it's actually really straightforward once feelings start to be expressed. So what do you see kind of unfolding in the space with Eerie? Make it, oh, there's a there's a whole bunch. I don't know if you saw the cards there. Eerie, it was doing its own little thing. Okay. Right. So from what I can see with the situation, right? This stuff, I guess, it seems like the 5 week mark that I mentioned, keep note of that because there's something that's kind of unfolding for you guys within the next 5 weeks where it's going to kind of like build some momentum where the attraction allows for you guys to align a little bit closer together. So it's like you guys are able to spend more time in each other's space. It may be initially, it may be more so in a social setting. I'm open to other people though, because I'm the one who likes her. At least I think no. Well, this is the thing. I think she's unsure of you. That's the thing, and I think it's because of the whole introvert stuff. I think she's not really too sure about whether or not you feel deeply. That's the best way that I can put it. She thinks that there's an attraction, but she's also confused about whether or not you really want to progress or really want to pursue anything, because I think she's almost kind of how can I put it, she's unsure as to whether or not you're interested. I'm not sure if you've put yourself out there like that just yet, Eerie, but she's unsure whether or not you're interested. So I think she's a little bit curious because she likes your energy and she likes the vibe that you give off. But I want to say this: we see each other in passing. Yeah, I want to say, yeah. I think in 5 weeks from now, you guys will actually be able to. I see something happening where you guys are in more of a social setting where you're in a space to get to know each other on a deeper level. So it kind of alleviates some of the confusion a little bit. Um, it's very unconventional as well. I think that that's the thing that is intriguing for her. I think she finds you to be like quite unconventional. You're not her usual type. That's the best way that I can put it. And when I say that, it's like the guys that she tends to go for are very, lack of a better way of putting it. Um, no, and I get that, but the way that I'm seeing it is basically kind of like you guys maybe finding yourself where you're being brought together by potentially some sort of mutual connection. So it may be like a mutual friend that you guys don't actually realize that you guys have, or potentially some sort of network that you guys are connected to that you don't realize. And I think that that starts to kind of build a bridge for you guys to be able to decide. Let me make it very clear, Eerie. It's a decision. Yeah, I can tell, beautiful. I can tell. It's a decision whereby I see that the energy in the space there is like she's thinking whether or not it's something for her to be able to pursue. Um, she's thinking whether or not it's something for her to be able to pursue, Eerie. And this is the thing, right? And I'm glad that you kind of like put that out there. I sense that vibe from you. So that may be a part of the confusion, because there's this attraction that she has to you, but this may be yeah, this may be her first encounter exploring that part of herself, if you know what I mean. So there's a little bit of curiosity, but at the same time, she's quite scared. I don't know how else to put it. She seems quite shy. She seems quite shy. So remember last time when we were unpacking this area, I was saying to you that she's a bit of a people pleaser. So this might be a part of the struggle of her being able to just accept where she's at in her own journey and kind of like where she's feeling to really explore herself. Well, it's all part of liking somebody. It is a risk. I want to say this. She is attracted to you, but she's not sure if she wants to pursue how the situation may unfold itself. Why? Is because this is her first real experience like this. She's dabbled before, don't get me wrong. She's dabbled, she's been curious, but this is her first real experience of being able to like allow for herself to be open deeply in terms of like relationship wise. And I think that that's the thing. She kind of sees the potential of a relationship being able to brew and develop with you. But at the same time, the people pleasing thing, that's the thing that you guys are going to struggle with, I guess, because of the fact that she's not really too sure whether or not she wants to be public. That's the best way that I can put it. So it starts off initially as just kind of claiming friends, but it's a little bit more than friends. You know how this goes, right? Claiming friends so that it can be just kind of, how can I put it, downplaying it a little bit. And that again is to do with her own hang-ups and all of the external judgments that she's kind of navigating through. So again, these are some of the things that we spoke about last time. You being able to kind of like take accountability helps her to be able to grow in her ability to be confident about the way that she's engaging in relationships. So she grows a lot in the relationship, as do you. You grow in patience. You also grow in being able to, how can I put it? Be tolerant, because though there's the attraction and I can see that you grow, I'm seeing like there's a 2-year timeline with this situation. So it seems as though the first 2 years, what are my family's energy towards me? We're coming to you. We're coming to you, Hope. We're definitely coming to you. So because of her situation where she's kind of nervous. She's basically like that's how I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like a lot of anxiety. She's nervous about how it's going to be received. But that has nothing to do with the way that she feels about you, because I feel like that's a part of what you guys are going to be navigating through. It may cause and it may trigger some insecurities for you. And why I'm saying that is because, again, because of the fact that she wants to keep things on the down low. Things are very casual initially to begin with, but although you guys say it's casual, there's a lot of feelings involved, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of deep connection, basically, because I'm seeing that it's almost like, you know, when you're like trying not to catch the feels, but you don't caught the feels. It's one of those types of situations where I can tell that she's already caught the feels and she's trying her best to be able to navigate through it respectfully. That's the best way that I can put it, respectfully, because there's other people's feelings, I guess, that she's considering in the process. But the first 2 years for you guys, after the first 2 years, it's like there's a breakthrough. After the first 2 years, something happens 18 months on the timeline, where that's where the breakthrough starts to happen. And I know, beautiful, I know she does move past it. I think that after the 18 months mark, because I feel like there's something that happens within her family dynamic, that allows for her to actually, like, she starts to finally get the receptivity from her family. She starts to finally kind of get a little bit, it's not everybody, I'm going to say this, like, I'm going to put it out there, not everybody is going to give her the support that she's looking for. But, and however, there is a couple of people, I'm seeing two main people, that is basically giving her the support that she needs, that is able to build her spirit of courage to continue to push forward and really be strong in her decision to basically do what's best for her without considering the consequences of other people's judgment. Okay. But after the 18 months mark, you guys really start to build some momentum in terms of the relationship really actually standing a chance. And then from there, 2 years mark, breakthrough moment. Like, then it feels as though she's in a place where she's not maybe as open as where you are, because obviously you've been on a journey of just accepting yourself for quite some time. But it seems as though after the 2 year mark, she actually is at that place where she's comfortable to be open in public, and there's no hang-ups about what other people are sort of thinking and feeling about the situation. Unconventional, but things progress in a way whereby she's able to let her love for you speak for itself, because I think that that's the thing that basic. I hope you're taking notes on the timelines, because I think the timelines are probably the I'm not going to say the most important thing, but it gives some point of reference. So, you know, within the 18 month span where things seem tricky, like, just knowing that there's actually like a light at the end of the 18 months tunnel, it will help to be able to kind of like make things it will kind of make things feel a little bit more effortless once you get to the other side of that struggle. And what I can see is that you're very supportive, but there may be times as well where your patience may be tested, because it starts to take a toll on your self-esteem because of having to live a life that you're just not used to. You're just not used to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not a people pleaser. So it's one of those things where sometimes it can feel frustrating because you don't get it, right? And it's just like, why are you living for other people? But trust and believe, she does get to that place. You just have to keep giving her encouragement. 5 weeks from now, things start to really shift. There's something in the water for you guys within the next 5 weeks or so. I know you said that you were open to the potential of something else, but that's already brewing in the waters, my love. So I have to speak on. That's why I asked in the first place, because they're showing me that there's somebody right now that there's an attraction to, and that starts to really develop. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's where you have like the emotional connection. And right now you guys are doing like this little energetic dance, and there's a magnetic pull that's taking place. Okay. So just stick with it, wait it out. Things will start to move forward. Just be open to the process of how things unravel itself to you guys, is the best way I can put that. It's all good, my love. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for the question, because I feel like we were able to go a little bit deeper into some stuff this time. So I like when you guys kind of like, continue to ask questions about the situation, because that's the more we can unpack stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I like to be able to give as much insight as we can, because sometimes I feel like the guys are cheating us. It's like, come on, guys, you know more than that. Give us something. So let's go and have a look at Hope's question. And then we're going to come back to you, Space Vibes. To me, she's attractive. My only crush right now. Do you know what? She is way deeper, and I appreciate it. It's all good. It's all good, beautiful. I appreciate you for coming back into the space and really putting it out there. Oh, Lucy. Hey, my love. I'm sorry. Do you know what? Last time, I don't think you put your question out there as well, Lucy. And I don't think we were able to actually like get any clarity for you as far as what's on your heart. So just put it out there. Okay. Just put your question out there and we'll be able to unpack that for you. So Hope, how does the family see Hope? Oh, Hope, my love, I'm going to be nice about it, but I'm going to keep it honest with you. This is what I come to this space for. So the family sees you a little bit bothersome. And yeah, no, you didn't. Hey, Brianna. Welcome to the space, my love. Put your question out there if there's anything that you've got. Definitely, Lucy, put your question out there this time. We don't want you to, miss out on anything this time. Hope. So family is finding you to be a little bit bothersome. Why are your family looking at Hope as a bothersome energy in the atmosphere at the minute? Let's get some clarity on that. Okay. That's okay, Lucy. I got you, girl. Don't worry. We're going to come back around and circle back around to it. So, just be honest. Thank you, because it makes my life easier, and then the guides don't have to force it out of me. So I appreciate you just giving me the freedom to just keep it honest and 100 with you. So, what I'm seeing with the situation with you, what's the love life situation like at the minute, Hope? Give us a little bit of clarity on the love life situation, because what I'm seeing around that is that actually has something to do with this judgment that family is projecting. So because I'm not well and have had chronic illness for a long time, and now they see me as a bad. Okay. Thank you for that. Because I'm gonna say this, like, yeah. Is he helpful to the situation? And I'm literally just asking questions because I feel like that's also an area that they're having a little bit of judgment as well. So I just want to be able to really understand a little bit about these judgments that they're projecting. I don't think that they find you as a burden in like a malicious way. I think that it's basically fear of the unknown, not really knowing what's going to happen with your situation. And I think it's them questioning, from what I can see. Yeah, he's helping as much as possible. Okay. So this is something that I'm kind of, do they find that he is as helpful as he can be with the situation? The reason why I'm asking is because there may be some sort of jealousy. And this is what I mean when I say jealousy, Hope. What I mean is there may be some jealousy in terms of feeling as though they are being replaced in certain ways. They'd actually like to be there. Some of them, not all of them. I'm seeing at least 2 or 3 people, max, that is genuinely wanting to support you. And I don't know, they feel some sort of some feeling of inadequacy. It's almost like they feel like he's replacing them in some way. Do you have siblings, Hope? Because I'm trying to understand whose feelings this is. I'm trying to get, no, they feel he can't help fully, but they were emotionally abusive to me, so they pushed. Okay, okay. Because one of the things that I'm seeing in this space is that, and it's thank you for. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. The jealousy thing that I'm seeing is I know that they actually pushed you away at the end of it all, but the way that they see it is that he took you away. Because they're not really necessarily willing to take accountability for the part that they kind of like played in the demise of the relationship just yet. So, oh, and I'm getting a lot of sadness as well. There's somebody in particular, siblings, talk to me. Do you have any siblings? Because there's somebody in particular that is actually really struggling with this disconnect. Yeah, at home with my mother and two sisters live on. Okay. Um, there's one particular sibling that I'm seeing that is probably most affected by the disconnect. That they're kind of like one, they're basically affected because there's a lot of worry about your health issues and concerns, and they don't trust. I'm just keeping it honest, beautiful. They don't trust your partner to be there for you in the way that you actually need someone to be there for you entirely. So there's a lot of concerns about that. Who's the youngest? Who's the youngest? Because I'm feeling this as a young sort of energy. So explain to me a little bit about the dynamics here. Um, yeah, honestly, family, they do love you. They're just scared. Honestly, they're just scared. They feel helpless themselves. Yeah, because I'm sensing that it's the youngest sister. What's the relationship like with the younger sister? Because I'm sensing that she may not be able to articulate fully like what's actually going on as far as her sadness because she doesn't want to basically like make you feel any type of way because she's genuinely got like deep concerns. Um, but she's really quite sad about how things are actually kind of playing out at the minute. She misses you. I can't speak about the dynamics with everyone else. It seems like everybody else is a low key. They're still in their id, their egoic, their human ego perspective on the situation. So they're still willing to kind of like perpetuate the disconnect right now. Yeah, but it's confusing because we had an amazing bond before, but now she's been really evil towards me. I'm sorry that it's showing up like that. I'm really sorry that it's showing up like that. Honestly, it it is. You read it, my love. It is a front. There's a lot of sadness that's there that she just doesn't know how to process, and I feel like her walls are up at the minute, and I'm really trying my best to keep from crying right now because she's in a place where she has been, how can I put it? She's been overtaken by the spirit of fear. Okay, so she's navigating through a lot of concerns that she doesn't necessarily know how to process. And it's easier, I guess, almost for her to basically sabotage the relationship rather than continue to be emotionally present and involved in the relationship because it hurts too much to be able to do that. So, oh, I'm getting like really emotionally overwhelmed with this particular situation because there's a lot of emotional distortion that's taking place with this one, my love. She's scared. She's scared and she doesn't know how to deal with her fear about your health concerns. and she doesn't really know what to do with the situation. So she's in self-sabotage mode. It's a coping mechanism at this point. It's the best way that she feels like she can handle this fear of what potentially could come of the situation. And I think as well, she may be one of the people that feels most like she's been replaced by the partner. Okay, does that make sense? Like, you guys, yeah, you guys aren't as close as you used to be, and she feels like once you actually like, um, once this relationship really developed, she just felt like she was casted to the side type thing, and she's built up a lot of resentment towards you for that, unfortunately. And that resentment is now playing out in her behavior, the way that she's actually showing up, as she loves you. I think if you can, hey Kai, will definitely come around the space and circle back into your space, my love. But yeah, I think if you Rush, we're literally just out here unpacking some stuff. We're literally just here unpacking some stuff with Hope. Really deep this situation, Hope, 100%. If you can basically, I don't know how you feel. Maybe I want to say that it's not something that I would probably recommend right now because you're going to be met with a lot of resistance. Unfortunately, initially, yes, UK accent in the building. But when you when you kind of like find yourself in a place where you're actually fully centered, because you're going to be met with a lot of the resistance from her initially, because she's scared to let herself basically be open to you again, because she feels like, again, she got replaced. She doesn't know how to deal with that feeling, and it's caused a lot of insecurity for her within the relationship, and it's also now bleeding over into other areas, I guess, of her life. And she's showing up as a little bit vindictive because this is her way to basically feel as though she's not a victim of what's going on, because she actually feels quite victimized by the situation, unfortunately. Okay, Rush. That's okay. It's all good. Jamaica in the building, but yeah. Do you feel I should move back home? No. No, I don't. I don't think so. I don't think that that's best for you per se. I don't think it's a safe environment just yet. At least not right now. This is what I'd say to you. At least not right now. Maybe if you can work at mending some of these relationships a little bit, then you could kind of go back into the home environment. But going there, your health is just going to continue to kind of like deplete as well. Yeah, I'd say give it some time. Don't just kind of like put yourself back into the situation, because you might find yourself worse off, unfortunately, because there's a lot of unresolved issues. So once you guys start to unpack some of these things, first thing is to focus on mending the relationship with the sister. Okay. Once you're able to do that a little bit, it starts to mend some of the other relationships as well, because she starts to be able to almost kind of help some of the other ones come around a little bit, you know. But it's still a very toxic environment, so I wouldn't advise you to go home just yet. Work on resolving some of the underlying issues at the minute, starting with your sister and working your way through some of them. I think the brother may be your most tricky. From what I can see, the brother may be your most tricky to kind of like win over, just because there's a different dynamic at play with you guys as well. Okay. I hope that that was useful for you. They're saying the rest of the stuff just kind of has to play out, so I don't think that there's anything more, I guess, that they can give me on it. But yeah, work on mending the relationship with the sister first. And yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, she doesn't hate you. Hate is only the condition of love when it has been misused and it feels like it's been abused. So she's living in her id perspective at the minute. She's living in her primitive state. So once she's able to kind of, if you can, so what happens when someone's in their primitive state? You have to kind of love them harder. Unfortunately, it sounds like a whole bunch of BS, but honestly, that's the only way that they will be able to deactivate that shield and bring that armor down, by being able to feel like they're in a safe environment. So if you give her a little bit more of a gentle love and let you know that you see her despite the shadow that she's wearing at the minute, it will create room for like an opening where you guys can really start to see some just little changes, very, very subtle, but little changes. Stuff will start to move. From what I'm seeing, in as little as 15 days, you'll start to see like little subtle changes. And if we can, guys, let's put some prayers out there for Hope, with her health situation and her family's recovery situation. Like, let's just put some positivity on that for Hope and put that out there, because it seems like they're going to need some additional support from us, guys. So whatever we can do, I'm sure it would be much appreciated. Thank you for that, beautiful. Let's go ahead and see what else we've got in the room. Right, guys. I think Lucy's question was next, actually. I think Lucy put a question in this time. Oh, space. Okay. I'm going to do Space Vibes question, Lucy. And I'm going to actually go ahead and do you know what? They're saying to me that I'm sorry, Space Vibe. I'm going to come back to you. It's just that Lucy missed out on her opportunity last time as well. So they're saying that she has a little something in reserve. Okay, her guides have been holding the place in the queue for her. So I have to go and do her first, and I'll come back to you, Space Vibes. Don't worry, I got you as well. Lucy. Oh, what's happening for Lucy in terms of romance? There's beautiful Gemini energy. I'm loving your vibe, Lucy. I'm loving your vibe. I liked it last time as well. It was just a shame that we couldn't get your question. What do you see happening for Lucy in terms of romance? Okay, I know that already. I'm sorry. I'm like, we're having a sidebar here, guys. I know that already, guys, but what do you see kind of like unfolding in her process? I'm hearing 5 months, 5 months, something's taking place. Okay. Right. Whew, Lucy, beautiful. Let's talk about it, right? So this is what's going on. Gonna spill some tea on the romance situation. So right now, the guides are saying it's time to just kind of like retreat. So this is some time for you to kind of like take for yourself. But this is because you're on a 5 months trajectory of a learning curve that you're going through, my love. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing with this situation as far as this learning curve, oh, I don't even know. Good. Lovely to see that you're still in the room, Lucy. Yes, Rush, the guides, the angels, the ionic photons in the atmosphere that are speaking to me in higher realms and channels of communication. Okay. So what's taking place for you in terms of the situation for yourself, Lucy? You're actually on a process of a 5 month sabbatical. Now, hear me out, girl. Okay. The situation is that you have had a tendency of seeing red flags in we'll kind of like see how things kind of go. Good to know that you're still in the room as well, Brianna. Do your lives stay up, as I'd like to come back to them in case I forget? No, they do stay up. It is on my YouTube channel, so you can actually like rewatch it back as well, because this is why I say it's important to kind of like take notes, because they're very specific on certain things. So if you want to watch it back and write down some stuff, because some parts of the journey is very, very tricky to navigate through. And the way that they articulate certain things, especially with timelines, that it's very important, because a timeline gives us hope when we're navigating through like those tunnel moments, you know. So the timeline gives you some sort of indication that there is like light at the end of this at some point. But yeah, Lucy, so class is being administered for the next 5 months. Yes, you are open. The problem is you may be too open, my love. What do I mean by that, Lucy? So you may have a tendency to basically do this with red flags and relationships a little bit. Okay, you'll see the red flag, but it's like, I kind of don't want to see that, because I'm into you, I'm digging your vibe, I'm feeling, the kind of energy that you're bringing to the table. So they're actually going to be. No, you haven't yet, my love. They're actually going to be teaching you a little bit about taking the proper precautions when you kind of enter into situations that are casual initially. What tends to happen is that the way that they're putting it across to me is that you will find yourself in situations where you're not listening to your guides. I'm sorry, they're calling you out, Lucy. You're not listening to your guides. So basically, this is more of an intuitive development class for you. Okay. And when I say that, it's like you're intuitively being guided to your one. So look, they're breaking it down to you right now. You're intuitively being guided to the one that is a vibrational match to you. And what you have done in the past is wasted. I wouldn't say wasted entirely, but that's how they're putting it, because those were situations based on what you don't want. So it was a waste in essence. Okay. It was a learning experience, but wasted your time in situations where it feels like you're not progressing in the way that you'd like to progress, but it's almost like you still push forward anyways. There is somebody that is here for you. So you're on a 5 months trajectory with this class, and 7 months is actually where you guys come into alignment. And what I mean by that is they're also doing their own work to seek and find you as well. From what I can see, there's somebody. That's how I feel I move forward. Yeah. It's hey, beautiful. So it's one of those things where after the 5 months mark, that's your breakthrough moment, your testimony stage is over, and now it's time for you to really be able to really sit in your refuge stage. And your refuge stage lasts for a good couple of months. And that's when this person actually like fully becomes like a prominent fixture in your orbit. Okay, so they come in. I'm hearing they come in and they're here to stay. They're here to stay for quite some time. I'm seeing at least a good 3-year timeline. So I don't know if things start to get disruptive after the 3-year mark. However, it seems as though you are going through a process of basically being able to be a little bit more assertive in certain relationships. It's nice that you're playful, but what they're saying is that by you being playful in certain situations, it's caused other people to basically take your love for granted and play with your heart a little bit, not necessarily take things as serious as you would have liked. So they're saying it's about the next 5 months, it's about learning how to pay attention to the red flags and actually really being able to identify when a person is fully making an effort in the situation and not just settling for the bare minimum. When a person is trying to basically tell you that their bare minimum is all that you deserve. There's somebody out there that can give you the maximum. and so much more, and they're on their way into your orbit. And patience is necessary in the game that you're playing. Um, there'll be, there will be, how can I put it? There will be potentials in space of that 5 months. There would be potential. So what do I mean by that? There will be people that the universe are going to utilize to continue to teach you a lesson on these red flags. And if you take heed of these lessons, yeah. Well, I have to be honest with you, my love, because they're saying that if you learn the lesson, there's a great reward that's there for you. And this person is also like really working at being able to, I guess, show up as a reflection of your worth. But first, you actually have to really be in a vibration of reflecting that to the universe, because you say that you're worthy of certain things, but you're still willing to settle, my love. I just have to keep it honest. And settling doesn't allow you to align with this person because they're so, yes, because you are beautiful sooner than you think. Okay, sooner than you think. There's a lot of things that's in motion for you at the minute. And this person that also comes in as well. This is what I'm saying. Like, they help you to be able to move towards that wealth as well. Okay, it becomes more of a team effort as well, which is why the universe is teaching you a little bit about how you tend to settle in relationships. Because you're carefree, and it's a nice quality, it's a nice personality trait to have, but we also have to keep that balance as well. We have to know when that applies and where it applies. So the universe is going to be teaching you a very important lesson. There will be at least two, there'll be at least two, maybe three tests along the way to really ask, are you in a position where you're actually ready for the right one, or are you still looking for the person that is here for right now? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much everything they're giving. That's everything they're giving me. They're asking me to move on to the next person. But yes, Lucy, your guides were waiting to be able to communicate that to you, I guess. Don't worry. Good. I'm glad that you understood. I'm glad that you understood. It's all going to work out for your overall best good. It's just a process. That's all. You guys are kind of, I guess, aligning with each other. But you're kind of working through some impurities at the minute to be able to get onto that literal, like that mirror timeline where you guys are just gravitationally attracting yourselves to each other. I think Space Vibe was next. So yeah, Space Vibe. Hi, how did V feel when we saw each other on the bus today? I had been reaching out to him the past week, but I haven't heard Romance in the Summer. But fella, I remember. Don't worry. Wondering if I should block or move on. Okay. The V situation is very, very tricky. And I'm going to call it tricky because they don't know if they're coming or going. And every time I like go into their space, it's always just like bravado, bravado, bravado. It's always just, yeah. Let's see. How did V feel today? How did V feel today seeing Space Vibes on the bus? Let's get some clarity on that, because there's okay. So the situation right here, right? So I'm getting the Strength card. So what this is telling me, right? And this is why I said to you bravado, right? I even sort of like put that out there before. So it just feels like they feel as though they have to be strong in the situation. I'm sorry, I'm getting something that isn't being said. So I want to really like receive the communication so I can relate back to you. They're actually busy focusing. Who was the one that disconnected? who was the one that disconnected when things started to, I don't really want to call it fizzle. I think that, like I said last time, the passion is very intense with you guys, so it has to be moderated. But who was the one that, that's okay, Hope. That's okay. We'll kind of go through the queue and I'll come back to you. I'll sort of get the PayPal stuff up if I even can find all the stuff. But yeah, what I would say as well, with the situation, Space Vibe, if you can let me know, we were kind of on and off. I was the one finally cutting off with him agreeing. So it's mutual. Yeah, because that's the reason why I had to ask the question is because he's still questioning himself as to why it didn't actually work out. He's still like, I'm dealing with a voice. We're gonna come back to you, Sabrina. We've got you in the queue. I'm sure the guys are gonna let me know, how things kind of like needs to unfold. But we're definitely gonna come back to you. So the situation is, with V, they're still questioning why it just wasn't going to work out. Why did you kind of why did you end up cutting it off, if you don't mind me asking? Because that's their main question. That's the main thing. Like when they see you, that's literally what you represent. Why did this not work out? And I think they're still kind of internalizing a lot of these questions that they just don't have answers to. And because you want to basically so this is how they're putting it. What, we're not good enough for a relationship, but you still want to have communication with me? I don't think so. So they're not willing. They're not willing to, I guess, engage. It's like an all or nothing type situation for them, I guess. They're not willing to engage if you're not willing to, I guess, play along with their game. He didn't take care of my needs. Don't want to give too much info. No, you're good. You're good. But you know what I mean, sis. I get you, girl. And I told him that, yeah, I'm a hypocrite for reaching out again. No, you're not a hypocrite. You're not a hypocrite. I think it's just one of those things whereby obviously it may have been a premature decision. It may have been a premature decision. I think you may have been willing to work at it at the time. Like it depended on how you communicated your, I'm trying to find the right words, right? It depended on how you communicated your needs during negotiations. Because it seems as though that it's driving them mad. They just feel like they can't do it. They just can't do it. It causes them mad anxiety, actually. Like they do the whole cool, calm, and collected on surface, but it causes mad anxiety under the surface. They're actually, yeah, they don't understand why things couldn't necessarily work out. And if it can't work out, they just don't want, they don't want you to be in contact unless it's going to be in contact. If you know what I mean. The one that said he didn't feel like it was right, so he argued and agreed to stop. I know it is complicated because I can tell the reason why you guys, I don't want to say didn't make it because I feel like it's still actually playing out, is because the reason why it didn't work out at the time is because both of you guys are confused. Both of you guys are confused. The thing is, yes, he wasn't necessarily meeting your needs in one particular way. It feels like I'm giving tea, right, Rush? But I'm really just trying to dissect all of this to really bring some clarity on the situation. But it really is confusion. Like he feels like he's actually letting go of a lot of the confusion about the situation. But both of you guys were really confused because even though he wasn't necessarily meeting your needs in one particular way, he actually met your needs in so many other ways. And I think that that may have been taken for granted a little bit. Okay. It may have been taken for granted a little bit. Um, when you actually made the decision, because you made the decision prematurely. There were just confusions that you guys needed to work through, but because the confusions were so overwhelming, there were a lot of entangled thoughts. It was hard to basically like decompartmentalize because everything just seems so like cluttered from what I can see in there for both of you guys. I just want him to get in contact with me again, and if not, I want to stop bothering him and just leave him alone. I want to say this. I feel like I don't feel like he's actually ready for you to like completely disconnect just yet. Um, I think he's still just kind of like putting on the bravado because he feels a little bit rejected, for lack of a better way of putting it, even though, and I want to put it like this as well, because of the reasoning as well, it's like that's just something that like really bruised his ego. And I don't think that he's recovered from it just yet. Let's see, guys. Can we expect contact from V? Because I feel like he wants to. He feels like he shouldn't. He just feels like he shouldn't. I feel like he really does want to. He just feels like he shouldn't. Okay. Yeah, seems like he's contemplating it. He's contemplating whether or not he wants to make contact. Yeah, and I get that. I get that. I think because of the way that things kind of unfolded a little bit, he's just kind of in his feels a little bit. And I feel like I want to like really put some stuff out there. I just don't know what to do. I need to say, hey, Taylor, welcome to the room, beautiful. Right, I'm going to tell you what to do, my love. Okay, because this seems like you want it and he wants it. You want it and he wants it. It's just like he's working through a lot of his own insecurities. He wasn't necessarily willing to grow in the ways that you needed him to grow just yet. Okay, and you know what I mean. So he wasn't necessarily willing to expand his ego into that area just yet, and allow for himself to be able to grow and flourish and see potentially the kind of man that he could grow into in that space, or the kind of man that you were basically encouraging him to grow to. Keep putting your intentions out there. He wants you. He just don't want to let it be known that he wants you because he's not too sure that you want him in the same way that he wanted you. And I'm saying wanted you because he's not allowing for himself to sit in that want right now. He's literally kind of like suppressing it. He's literally just kind of he's in a place of denial, that big long stream of denial, and where he's not allowing for himself to just really be honest about what he's feeling. Give him some time. I'm hearing 6 weeks for some reason. I'm hearing 6 weeks. He's going through his own process, I guess, of a turnaround. I would say I would say lay off the texting for a while. Lay off the texting for a while. And keep setting and putting your intentions out there instead. So whilst you're, instead of, I guess, communicating to him in the 3D, girl, okay, have a conversation with him in the 5D and continue to maintain your conversations with him in the 5D for some time. because that's what's going to allow for his 3D self, I guess, to kind of catch up to the narrative of what seeds you're planting with him in 5D. I hope that that makes sense. But it's like you're going to have to continue to kind of set your intentions on what it is that you want, because he's too scared at this minute. Like the way that things kind of played out, his ego is a little bit bruised, so he's scared to let himself back into this space, and he's a little bit shy, I guess, now. I feel like he kind of knocked his ego down a little bit. Definitely keep me updated, beautiful, because I think that it's just confusion. Usual situation really is just confusion, and unfortunately the confusion is keeping you guys, like, it's just creating more and more distance between you guys. But if you guys can figure it out, stuff could actually like really progress, but the confusion has to be watched through. Okay. Dang, there's some people in the room tonight. Let's go back and see who was after Space Vibe, guys, because I know you guys are out here keeping tracks as well. I think Brianna was actually next after Space Vibe. Yeah, I think Brianna was next. So we got two. we got Brianna and we've got Brianna. So we've got two Brees in the building. Because Brianna put out her question first, I'm gonna have to go with the question and just dissect that a little bit. Sorry, what she says, because it's oh, your sound isn't working right. I'm sorry, beautiful. Well, we're about to dive into your question now, so hopefully my sound, guys. Can we work on the technology stuff for Brianna, please? I know Mercury's in retrograde, but can we make some extra efforts to make sure that Brianna can receive her guidance? Please and thank you. Okay. Right. So let's have a little look at your question, Brianna. I want to know if Andre's done with me and his relationship, if he's still in love with me. Yes to the still in love with you. Done. I'm going to use some cards to unpack it, because that's a loaded question. That is a loaded question, beautiful. There's a lot to the situation. Oh, he's sad. He is sad. No, you're not too late, Isabel. You're good. I know, Rush. 3 more days. 3 more days. And then we're able to receive some of these blessings. I hope you guys aren't like too affected by some of the retrogrades that that we're now coming out of. I hope that you guys have been open to taking your lessons on board as well, because otherwise you're going to have to sit those classes again. And trust me, like, I've been having my Saturn return for like the last 3 years. You don't want to have to keep learning the same lessons over and over again. Right. So let's go back to Brianna's question. Are you still in the room, Brianna? I don't know if Brianna's still here. I can imagine. I literally just recovered from a couple of mental and emotional breakthroughs. I'm going to call it breakthroughs this week, because I needed to disassociate from some of those old programmings anyways, in I guess in preparation for this Aries full moon that we're going to have on Monday. So that's what's up. It just kind of made room for the release, right? No, you hadn't missed your question yet, Brianna. But we are going through your question now. I'm trying to like find it again. There's so much going on in here. Okay. Right, here we go. So Brianna wants to know if Andre is done with the relationship. Temporarily, I want to say, at least right now. It feels like it's a final thing. What did you do? Brianna, what did you do, girl? Or what did they do? Because you guys have a whole story that's like, okay, so I'm going to read the cards and see what's actually kind of taking place with the situation with you guys. Okay. Mm, yeah. From what I can see, I don't know if I don't know if they feel like there's a future there at the minute. What happened here, Brianna? I'm sorry, like I do ask questions. It may get a little bit like a little bit deep because I need to understand exactly what it is that the guys are trying to. Oh, thank you, Hope. I appreciate you for that. Um, yes, yes, Isabel, you can be added to the list. So what I'm seeing with the situation is that they're not necessarily at a place right now where they're looking back at the possibility of rekindling things. This is why I need to understand what happened because it looked like they are vexed. You vexed in their spirit. Okay. Like their spirit is all discombobulated. There's a lot of anger and shutdown. So I don't know what happened or what transpired in the space, but at this point, I don't even want to call it anger. It's full on rage. It's full on rage. What did you do, girl? I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know if you're even still in the room, Brianna. So I'm actually going to have to go on to Brianna. I am doing Brianna's question. Yes, I am. I am beautiful. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go to your question next, Brianna, because I don't know that Brianna is actually in the room, but it just looks like Andre he's not having it. She done did some stuff, y'all. She done did some stuff. Andre's not having it. He's like, I'm looking forward. I can't afford to look backwards. Like that situation, he feels unstable in that situation. So unfortunately, he's not still loves you. Still loves you. Yeah, the love has now been tainted by resentment, absolutely, because it's now been conditioned to the point where it's now rage. So I don't know what transpired between the two of you guys. But yeah, don't think he's coming back into the space anytime soon, unfortunately. Just being 100% with you. If you were in the space, we could have unpacked it to understand a little bit more about how his journey is going to unfold with you. But unfortunately, you're no longer here, my love. But hopefully, you can watch this back and actually get your insight. Now, Brianna, my love, it is time to unpack your stuff. Let's have a look and see what your question is. Okay. Let's go back into it. Dang. Okay. How Ray is feeling about you. Does he feel any kind of remorse for our ending? Oh. Um okay. Okay. This is a loaded one, right? This is a loaded one. Does he feel remorse? Yes, but I want to put it to you like this. It's like if this was the glass of his feelings, this would be the little speck of remorse because he just won't allow himself um, to feel the remorse too deeply because then he would actually have to live in the guilt, and the guilt is the thing that he's basically running away from, which is why he's not fully allowing himself to sit in the remorse. How does he feel? Let's get some clarity on this because their feelings is very, very confused. They're masking a lot of their feelings. Okay, how's Ray feeling about Brianna? How is Ray feeling about Brianna? Let's make this clear because he seems to be confused. So let's give Brianna some clear answers on this, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. They done said the same thing, okay, Brianna? They done said the same thing. They're saying that he's hella confused. Okay, let me have a look at the cards because there's so much going on with your situation. Um, let me unpack them so I can see how the story is kind of being told at the minute from the universal perspective and see what they're actually saying. Okay, right. So, what I'm seeing with the situation is that there's still a lot of love there. There's still a lot of feelings there. A part of them feels stuck, I guess. A part of them feels like, um, how long ago was the breakup? Because it feels like there's still some layers of entanglement with the situation. Do you guys have any kids or anything involved? Let me get a little bit more of an understanding about this process that's playing out for you guys, because they're showing me that there's a lot of dynamics to the situation for you guys. There's a lot of dynamics to the situation. First question is, are there any kids involved? Doesn't necessarily have to be kids that you guys have together, but it may be kids that you guys have separately, so that I can have an understanding of what this is. No kids, just known each other for a year. Okay. There's something about feeling stuck with a situation. Um, what I wanna what I wanna say with, okay, you've got a little one, okay, okay. There's definitely feelings there, but they're suppressing the feelings. They feel as though it's too much. I want to say this, Brianna. Do you tend to be a little bit demanding? That's just the best way that I can put it. I feel like a part of them feels potentially maybe like there's high expectations, maybe that they can't meet. And that's also a part of why they're struggling to let themselves actually just be remorseful towards the way that they handle the situation. I don't think that they're proud of the way that they handle the situation. Like, let's get that clear straight off the bat. They're not proud of the way that they handle the situation, but, and however, um, they are feeling as though they wouldn't have been able to meet your high expectations anyways. And it was just the easiest thing for them to do to be able to kind of walk away from the situation. But there is still feelings there, just not feelings that they're willing to explore. Yeah. Yeah, I'm asking the question because it just seemed like they won't allow themselves to be remorseful because they feel like it justified your behavior towards them in the situation. And they're not really trying to have that. They're not really trying to hear that. They're kind of like low key being stubborn about the situation because they're just like, well, the way that she handled the situation here and there, they weren't necessarily happy with. But yeah, they've still got feelings for you. Um, they just think that you're a little bit, I don't want to say too high maintenance, just high expectations. And those are some of the things that um, you might want to get off like the critical side of things. And I know that as a divine feminine, myself, a lot of the times as well, we tend to be like programmed to observe like what isn't working because that's the natural way for us to identify what we need to be able to make situations work. But for a lot of the times, it generally kind of like depletes the masculine's energy and motivation to keep moving, which is the masculine's, you know, subjective role, I guess, in the collective. But um, they've got feelings. They're just not going to be expressing those feelings anytime soon, and they're trying to contemplate what is actually the best way to move forward with the situation because they Yeah, they really like you. I don't know. It seems like they're struggling with like throat chakra stuff. Um, yeah. Shift the narrative a little bit and you may be able to open space for him to be and he'll will change. Yeah, thank you, beautiful, because that was going to that's we're we're here, Brianna. We're here. Okay. They're saying just shift the narrative a little bit. There's still room for you guys to be able to like work out some of these kinks. But you kind of have to I'm not saying be a pushover, but you kind of have to lighten up a little bit. I know that you're just working towards manifesting like your next best version of yourself, and that's what you're focusing on, and you're pushing towards that. And naturally you want the person that you're with to be able to be a vibrational reflection of that version of yourself that you're still growing into alignment with. But just trust that the universe will allow what is rightfully yours, that version of yourself as well. You don't have to go so ham at it. Like they're doing their own work. He's figuring out his own stuff as well. I think he just felt like there wasn't necessarily the room for him to have his journey as well. It was almost mostly about how he could serve you in the situation and how he needed to show up for you as well, and not so much like maybe parts of him felt like there were certain points that he was making about things that he felt like he wasn't getting in the relationship, and those things were overlooked a little bit. So it might be time to start maybe working at adapting to becoming a vibrational match to some of the things that he was basically crying out, that he was yearning for as well, and that may put you guys back into um, a situation. He went with a third party I seen. I don't know if he's fronting or trying to hurt me partially. Partially. It's a part of his healing process, I guess. Just suppressing these feelings and feeling as though he doesn't necessarily want to. It's like shit. If you don't want me, I'm sure somebody else is going to. And I think it was just something to boost his self-esteem, even if it's just momentarily. It was just something to make him feel better, because he really started to question whether or not he was worthy. And I think that he got a little bit emasculated in the process of it. Hey, Brianna, you missed it, beautiful. You missed it. I may come back. You did. We tried to unpack it a little bit, but we'll see how things go. Um, yeah, I think I can't say for definite that he's going to come back. All I can say is that there's a chance that he could potentially come back. Um, there's something within yourself that has to shift, unfortunately. He's not necessarily a vibrational match, I guess, to the person that you want him to be just yet, but give him the room to grow. You know, yes, he has the potential to be all of the things that you kind of see in him, and you're just trying to motivate him to do better in so many different ways. But you just kind of went a little bit too ham with it, and it depleted his confidence in the process. So the third party situation is just something that he's doing at the minute to build his confidence. Um, yeah, yeah, and I know that you love him. I think the thing is, like, you love him in the way that you love yourself, which is, because you're striving towards getting to your next best version. That's how you kind of like treat yourself. You're constantly in the critical mind state. Um, it just, you kind of have to shift that a little bit. If you can shift that a little bit, there may be room for you guys to slowly gravitate back into each other's orbit. But it's not an overnight situation at all. it may take up to at least 13 weeks for this situation to really start to move back into, because right now it seems like you guys are going around each other. And it may take up to 13 weeks or so for you guys to kind of get to a place where you've come around and back into alignment with each other. So there's a few programmings that just needs to be updated, a few mental programmings that needs to be updated. But trust me, the third party situation, call it a rebound. Beautiful. Call it a rebound, because right now he's just trying to make himself feel better, because yeah, he just feels like shit at the minute and he feels emasculated. And he can't really, I guess he's seeking sheets therapy at the minute. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Beautiful. That's all they're giving me. Unfortunately, they're letting me know that's it. I can't give you anything else on the situation, but keep doing your work on what you're doing for yourself, and things can potentially move in a different course of direction. But you just have to be willing to also actually just show up. It's okay, beautiful. It's okay. It's okay, my love. Things are promising for you guys, provided that there are certain changes that takes place. Okay. Brianna, we actually did do your reading. Relationship with you and Andre. What I did sort of see with the situation is that he's very close. This is why I was asking as well. I was like, what did you do, beautiful? Because I was seeing that there was some anger. I don't know what's kind of happened, but like his spirit's been vexed by something that you guys are navigating through at the minute. Like I just feel complete shutdown and rage. And I don't even necessarily oh no, you can post your question, beautiful. We'll get round to it. Don't worry. You're better off just posting the question and giving us some time to get round to you. Okay. But yeah, Brianna, the situation. So I'm moving from Brianna 1111 to Brianna Stevens with the situation with Andre. Yeah, when we kind of like did the reading, you probably have to watch back the actual playback, but it seems as though he's really angry about something that you guys are navigating through at the minute, and it's putting him in a place where he's really not really sort of reconsidering certain things. So we needed to unpack it, unfortunately, my love. Do I know the time? Um, 9 weeks. 9 weeks with the situation. So what's taking place is that over the course of the next couple of weeks, oh, I was gonna say shit, because that's literally what it feels like. You guys are navigating through a lot of stuff right now. But it's going to be like a bit tricky over the course of the next 2 weeks or so. You guys start to make some breakthrough around about the third week, but things are still then very tricky to navigate through. It's still a lot of ups and downs. You guys need to work on your communication. The way that you guys communicate with each other isn't helpful to situations, and it's causing even more disruptions when you guys find yourself in situations as well. So you kind of have to work at the way that you choose to respond to situations. Sometimes people are going to say things that we don't necessarily like, and that's okay, but we have to actually choose, okay, what version of myself am I going to like bring to the table in this situation? Just because they're hitting low, as Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. Okay, so when you find yourself in situations where it feels like you guys are going through some really dark and detrimental moments, you guys have a tendency of like starting to attack each other, I guess, or look at each other as a problem as opposed to focusing on the problem and letting the problem be the problem outside of yourselves and tackling those issues as a team. So you guys are going to have to really work on your communication because I'm seeing that there's a lot of issues, even for you guys being able to have like the most basic of conversations. So that's something that you guys are really going to have to work on. Jadzia, welcome back, my love. Welcome back to the room. Right. Thank you, Hope. I love you for that. Let's see. Rush had a question. So 3 more days. 3 more days, guys. And we shall be out of reprogramming stage. And then we can actually just focus on recalibrating after these bloody retrogrades. Thank God they've taught us so much. We've learned so much. Hopefully, we've all grown so much in the process. But my God, it has been detrimental to a lot of our mental health for a lot of us. And praise God, we've actually survived, guys. That part. Okay. So, Rush C. We finally gotten around to you. So, let's see. Do you see me moving to a better positive neighborhood with the insurance my mum left me before she passed? Yes. You're going to be met with you're going to be met with a few resistances throughout the process of it. It's going to so the best way that I can put it, as you're going onto that timeline, what I'm seeing is that it takes a while for the timeline to stabilize, basically. It's like you've got it, then you don't have it, then you've got it, then you don't have it, and then you've got it once and for all. And that's the situation where it feels like, okay, cool. And when I say you don't have it, it's because there's like a lot of other factors that needs to be taken into play with the situation. So it's like you're in the process, you're starting the process of being able to align with the timeline. But then from what I can see, it's like there's all of these things that just keeps coming up. The way that I'm hearing it is like a lot of frustration when it's not one thing, it's the next. So there's a lot of frustration. Be mindful of your frustration as you're navigating through it, because a lot of the times what happens is that our frustration actually delays the timeline as well, because then our attitude starts to reflect out there in the universe, and the universe is like, oh, you're feeling like that? Let's give you more of that. Let's continue to give you or feed more of that vibration. So yes, you will, my love, you will, but it will come with its own challenges in itself. And it may not necessarily be in the timeline that you anticipate as well. It's actually probably going to be at least 3.5 weeks longer than you anticipate, or the timeline that you get given. Where are you in terms of, are you looking at the minute? Where are you with the timeline? Just so I can get some understanding on this as well. Let me come down and see if you're here. No, I don't think so. And this is the thing you have to understand as well. Your mum's now a permanent fixture on your team. She's now one of the guys that's on your team that's able to basically help things align for you and hopefully communicate to you in a way that you're able to receive. So just allow for your intuition to guide you. There's a particular place for you, and I want to say a particular place because there's a lot of factors to what it is that you're looking for. And mum's got something special in store for you. She's holding on to something special for you. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. You gotta be mindful. You gotta be mindful how you sort of like channel the energy as well, because sometimes when we least expect it, the energy kind of gets returned to us. And it's like on those days where we're having like such a high, and we're just like, nothing can kill my vibe right now, but then all of a sudden the universe challenges us to keep that high. So be mindful how you're utilizing the frustration. But yes, you will be. No, I understand that. I do understand it. I know that there's a lot of haterade. I don't know how else to put it, because that's how I'm getting it. I know that there's a lot of haterade going on in your neighborhood, and it's like no one can really tell certain people's intentions sometimes as well, because they say one thing, but their demeanor and their actions and their behavior is saying something else. So it's like, can I really trust what you're saying, because you're saying one thing, but I'm getting a whole different vibe from your spirit type thing. Um, don't watch that. Yeah. Yeah, don't watch that. That has nothing to do with you. That's basically, as you're trying to elevate sometimes, like it's like the whole crabs in a barrel type situation. Like people, as much as they want to get out, they don't want to see anybody else get out type thing. So you don't even bother to pre that. Like, don't give no life to it. Don't give no energy to it. Um, yeah, I'll tell you what. Um, I'm gonna choose a different dialogue in terms of like how you're speaking on it, because what we need to do, because what's happening right now, right? And these are some of the things. This is why I was speaking to you about the being mindful of how you're utilizing the energy and spirit of frustration, right? The more you kind of like stay in that vibration of frustration, the more stagnancy it creates in your environment, and it feeds into more things for you to be frustrated about. So it's just going to further delay your timeline, right? Everybody else's stuff that they're dealing with or not dealing with, that's a class between them and God and their guides and their angels and whatever it is that they're not doing in class. That's between them. Okay. That's just something that they have to overcome within themselves. And you simply are an observer of them in class. It's like live theater. Okay. You get to watch them play out their class. Yes, please, my love, for your own sake, and also for what it is that I do personal reading. I do personal readings. Hope I'm going to come back to you, because I actually want to give you my email details as well. So if anything, you could actually probably just email me and we can unpack your stuff. Um, but yeah, the list is getting quite long. Do you know what? The last list that Hope did, which was ML, is the last person. We're going to leave it there. ML's the last person for tonight, because last time I told God I was coming in here for 90 minutes and God had me doing a whole 2.5 hours. So I had to do overtime, y'all. I don't owe anyone when I get usually you don't owe anyone anything. And I think for you it's just about making sure that you're keeping your vibrations elevated, because if you keep your spirits in high vibrations, it just gets you onto the timeline faster. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is what I was speaking about, like when things start to like maybe seem like it's not going your way, you have to look at the blessing in that, because it's not even a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing that is apparent. The universe is saying, God is saying, I want to give this to you, my love, but you're not ready. I want to give this to you, but I'm still preparing you for it. So when you find yourself in situations, yes, please, thank you, Hope. When you find yourself in situations where it feels like you're being deterred from the path that you're on, if anything, it's just time for you to go even harder. Okay. Keep that positivity like elevated, keep it vibrating on those high channels. and it will basically alleviate some of this stagnation that you're moving through. Because the stagnation that you're moving through at the minute, I'm not gonna lie, like because of the haterade that you've got around you, it's ultimately going to cause stagnation. Keep yourself to yourself. Keep your mouth shut. Okay, don't nobody around you want to see you win. I don't mean to like be as blunt as that. I'm not saying nobody, but just be mindful of the people that you tell your business to, because there's people out here, although they want the best for you, they don't want to see you elevate beyond them. So you got to be mindful who you tell what to. There's certain things you just got to keep to yourself, okay? Because people are putting their little red eye on your stuff. And I know you know what I mean when I say red eye, okay? You from the islands, okay? A lot of haterade. Exactly. Just keep on that same energy, keep on that same frequency. And even when people are seeing you do certain things, don't watch that. You don't need to speak about nothing. You don't, literally let your timeline speak for itself. Okay. Let your timeline speak for itself. Mom's going to help you. You've got a lot of other guides out there I can see working on your behalf to make this happen. It's going to happen for you. Honestly, there's a lot of people around you that is exactly that. There's a lot of people around you. It's like they want to know more so that they can understand what parts of your life they can infiltrate this evolution into your greatness. Do you see what I'm saying? So just be mindful. Okay. Yeah, they're saying that's it. That's all I've got for you, my love. Just be mindful. Mum's got your back. God's got your back. There's a lot of, high vibrational beings working on your behalf. Just get the frustration in check a little bit so that we can alleviate some of the stagnation that you're dealing with right now. Okay. Right. Oh, we've got Kai. I don't even know if Kai's still in the room. Shout out to Kai. That's my nephew's name. Whoop, whoop. Okay, let's see. Don't know if I can find Kai's question. Guys, it's busy in the room tonight. For real. All right, let's see. Kai, if you're still here, my love, you might need to put your question back out there again, because there's some... Oh, I can't even see any questions that far back. Let me see. Archangel Shamuel, can I get some assistance to Kai's questioning, please? Thank you kindly. Yeah, I don't think I can find Kai's question. And I think that was the feedback that I got from Archangel Shamuel as well. You're going to have to put your question back out there, Kai. The comments isn't allowing me to kind of go that far back. If you're still in the room, absolutely. Higher frequencies to raise your frequencies. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you this, it's all good, my love. It's all good. The version of yourself that you are today isn't necessarily the person that is going to be on that future timeline. It's a whole process that you're going through at the minute to evolve into that person. So as you continue to elevate your vibration, trust me, you become more and more in resonance with that timeline. And it's easier for you to quantum jump and leap onto that timeline. And keep the faith as well. Faith is one of those emotions and aspects of our belief system that creates wormholes, for lack of a better way of putting it, because I like to get all scientific as well. It creates portals for us to basically literally create miracles. It's like instantaneous manifestations, basically. Nope. Can't find your question, Kai. I love you, but we lost you. I can't find your question. So if you're still in the room, probably not. put your question back out there because we've lost it. Okay. Right. Thank you, Hope. And that's how it's done. Right. I'm gonna put it up on screen actually. I'm gonna put up my email on screen. There we go. There you go. There you go, Hope. That's for you, my love, because you're doing such an awesome job. I appreciate you for all the effort you're putting out. So much love to you for that. So selfless. I appreciate you. Right. So we're going to rhythmic. Let's see if we can find the question. Hopefully we can find the question. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on with all of these questions? Rhythmic, if you're still in the room, your best bet is to really just throw that question back out there again as quickly as you can, because things are moving quickly in the space. Rhythmic world. Yep. Don't think I can find your question either. Look at that. That's so good, my love. That's so good. Okay. Can't find your question, Rhythmic, but I am going to, I guess, see who else, whose question I can actually find in here. Okay. I think Sabrina was next after Rhythmic. I don't know if Sabrina's actually even still in the room because so much time has gone by. Let's see, guys. Your battery's low. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We're literally just trying to move through and push through the tide. So let's see. After Rhythmic, I don't know where Sabrina's question is, unfortunately. I should probably be grabbing these questions and putting them on like a separate note so that I can actually like keep tracks of all these things. But now that I know, lesson learned. Okay. So my bad, y'all. The next person is Afro Sunset Orange. Oh, okay. Because we can't find Rhythmic World's question. Kai's no longer in the building. Can't find their question either. And Sabrina, sorry, beautiful. We can't find your question. It has basically been put out there into the ethers, I guess. It just wasn't for today. It wasn't for today. So Afro Sunset. That's what I'm talking about. Afro Sunset Orange. You kind of have to just make sure that you're there and ready. You have to commit to getting that answer. So the question. Great, Isabel. Thank you for putting your question out there. Beautiful. I appreciate you for that. Answer to that question straight off the bat, you're always on the right path, but we're going to dissect that. We're going to dissect that so that we can really understand a little bit more about it. Okay. Afro Sunset Orange, if you can like retype your question, that would be bomb.com because I'm scrolling through and I'm trying to find your question. Okay. I've oh, I know. I know. Sometimes it's hard as well. Yes, I am seeing that. You reposted. How does Campbell really feel about you? Okay. um, it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily spoken. Um, how long have you been in a situation with Campbell? Because it seems like things are really quite complicated. I'm speaking to Afro Sunset Orange, by the way. um, it seems like it's a very complicated situation. So, how long have you guys kind of known each other and have been getting to know each other in the layers of each other, I should say? If you can give me some insight into that, that would be awesome. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Hope. Honestly, Hope. Seriously. 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 You if I had a great book, you'd be in it. Okay? Since beginning of this year. Okay. Um they 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 like you, but they're concerned. They're concerned about the religious differences. I just have to keep it like 100. That's literally like the main thing that you guys are navigating through. That's the lesson or the class that you guys are navigating through. They have concerns about you guys' spiritual differences and basically some of your different practices. For the most part, they like you and they're intrigued, but they're scared. They're scared because they don't understand, and what they don't understand, they're not necessarily sure if they want to get to understand. Um, I think it's more or less a case of you guys getting to know each other on a deeper level as well, because I think that it still feels fresh, like you guys are still getting to know each other. So they're making like all these preconceived notions. Well, they're scared of basically being in a situation where you guys is, I guess, religious and spiritual perspectives are so drastically different. Um, they're scared as to whether or not that would be something that they would basically have to continue to struggle with, I guess, in progressing um, in progressing further with the relationship dynamic. Yeah, the religious differences is the main thing that they're scared about. They just don't know how those things are going to unfold. Um, they're a little bit dubious as to whether or not they're able to. Hey, Hutchins, we've closed out the list. You're a little bit late, my love, but I'm good. Even better for seeing you. Yeah, the religious factors is like the main thing that's kind of the question on their hearts. But Campbell likes you. Answering that question, I guess I feel like my face was a dead giveaway on that one. Afro Sunset Orange. Um, he doesn't want to give it to me. Understand? He doesn't have to, but I just want to know why. That's why, my love. This is why. This is why. This is his main concern. He doesn't really know how to be able to have the conversation with you. But that's his main concern. You guys have different, I guess, religious practices, and he's concerned with some of your religious practices because it may be very drastically different to what he's perhaps what they're used to. And it's almost like they're having to consider, yes, Hutchins, the list is closed for today. I'm already on overtime. I'm already on overtime. And I've still got a few people on the list that I'm kind of navigating through, unfortunately. But that is my email address. So I am going to be live again next Friday if you want to stop into the room a little bit earlier with someone else, but they don't like each other, I don't think. It's not that they don't like, yeah. I was going to say it's not that they don't like each other. I think that is definitely more of a relationship of convenience. That's definitely more of a relationship of convenience. But I think also because of the situation where, yeah, again, it just comes back to the whole differences in spiritual practices. Um, that relationship has to take its course. Don't worry about, I guess, what's actually going on over there. I think that they like you. I think they're intrigued by you, but they're also scared because they aren't really clear on your religious and spiritual practices, and they have a lot of preconceived notions which they're confused about, and um, they don't really necessarily know how to ask those questions without offending a person, basically. So I don't know, maybe it might be worthwhile you just having certain conversations or trying to instigate certain conversations to be able to clarify some of the yeah, some of the before being scared or judging. Absolutely. Um, and I understand. Right? Right. All of this is for gods, but people have their own relationships with God is a personal experience. Religion itself is a personal experience. So I guess everybody has their personal experience. And some people are more into the conventional way of having a relationship with God. And that's the part that's a little bit it gets a little bit tricky to navigate through. But I think if you kind of start to give a little bit more of an indication that that's actually a natural part of your process of what you do and why you do what you do, and it's just how you experience and reflect your own personal relationship with God, it may give this person a little bit more insight so that they can have some more understanding and overstanding, perhaps, rather than just making up all these assumptions in their head and telling themselves that they're right. But I think that they're intrigued by you. I just think that it's complicated. It's complicated to say the least. The relationship that's taking place right now, like I said, it is a relationship of convenience. So yeah, it's the truth. It is the truth. Um, Thank you, Jadzia, but it is the truth. I think some people, when they don't really understand how other people have their relationships with God, it's easy for them to judge because they expect that everybody has the same relationship with God, and it's just not the case. So, um, yeah, I think if they're able to get a little bit more insight into the way that you actually practice your love for God openly, with the universe and engaging. Is there anything else I need to know about Campbell? Well, what you need to know about Campbell? Oh, that's good to know that you're still here, Divine Beauty. What you need to know about Campbell is that they're actually going to be, how can I put it? They're going to continue to be a little bit aloof. That's the best way that I can put it. They're going to continue to be a little bit aloof, because they're still trying to work out if it's worth continuing down this path of the relationship that is ultimately of convenience, or if it's actually worth um, opening themselves up to something that may potentially give them an opportunity to grow. Um, I'm not going to say things are going to fizzle out in that space because I don't think it's that simple. I think that the relationship of convenience that he's in, there's a lot of other, yeah, senses. I'm upset with him a little bit. Yeah, I think there's the relationship that is, I'm so thankful for the good intuition I had. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Rush. Absolutely. You've got amazing intuition. Keep up the good job, which is at me opening up to me. Yes. He is going to, I guess, start to be able to gain more of an understanding of yourself. I want to say as time goes on, it's not something that's going to happen by the end of this year. I'm actually seeing it more so, interestingly, into the top end of next year. So, like January, February times is where there seems to be some sort of movement. Like it feels like there's a momentum starting to pick up around about that time for you guys. But as of right now, there's still just too much confusion. Um, and the relationship of convenience isn't just about him and the other person, there's other people involved. That's why the relationship is continuing at the minute. There's family, I guess, that supports the relationship. And there's a desire to not want to disappoint those people as well. So he has opened up and confided in me, but I feel not for, yeah, it's still something that you guys are like really, really getting to know each other. I feel like they're building their confidence that um this is something that they're comfortable with as time progresses. I feel like I said, early January, maybe February times, you guys really start to, yeah, exactly that. You guys really start to pick up momentum. It is because there's other people to consider in the relationship that's there for convenience. So just give it some time, just give it some time. I think they're actually low key going through their own awakening process, which is why you guys are aligned. And you're able to kind of help them to be able to adjust, I guess, as they kind of ascend. But yeah, just give it some time and let things like tread water carefully is what I'd say with the situation. Okay, because it's already at play, it's already working out in a certain way. It's just that the universe has to be tactile about how things actually play out because there's so many people that are at risk of getting hurt in the process. Okay. Whether or not you guys will end up together, that's up to you guys. I honestly, they're not showing that to me just yet. All they're showing me is that there's momentum building at the start of January, early February times next year. It's up to you guys what you actually do with the potential. Okay. Well, he's actually going through his own awakening. Thank you, Hope. That's why you my girl, man. Right, guys. I think Taylor was next. God, I can't find for the life of me. I can't find Taylor's question either. And I haven't written I haven't written any of these down. I think that's what I need to start doing. Like I said, guys, next time I'm going to actually like just start copying and pasting your questions onto my notes notepad. Right, let's see. Is Taylor still in the room? There we go, Taylor. I'm glad that you're here. What's coming towards you in love? It's all good. It's all good. Afro sunset. It's all good. Right, what's coming towards Taylor in love? Well, I'm hearing that depends on what she's open to. That depends on what you're open to, my love. Let's talk about this, Taylor. Are you? Hi, Louise. Lovely to see you, my love. Are you, the best way that I can put it, you're not attracting the right people, Taylor. Why is that? Are you allowing for your authentic self to show up? Are you like being your genuine, authentic, quirky, weird self? Because I feel like there's parts of yourself that you might disguise a little bit, which makes it tricky for the universe to actually like bring you um, a sufficient. That's how I'm hearing it. A sufficient person. Dang, I really don't know why. Well, this is what I'm trying to put across. Like they're saying that it's like, you know, sometimes you may go into situations wanting to basically like meet the expectations of the person. So sometimes you might dim to be able to kind of like meet those expectations um, and fit the mold, I guess. Um, Another thing that I'm seeing with the situation as far as like what's coming. So I'm trying to like find the right words to like really give yeah. I'm trying to find the right words to really give this to you, Taylor, because they really want to be able to like help you break through this thing. I hold back too because I don't want to be too much. And I get that. I get that, my love. But you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Like you've got like all this vibrancy. Like they're lucky to be in your presence. Like you've got amazing energy. And I understand the wanting to hold back because you're like this big presence. But for the right man, you know, they can handle you. For the right person, they can handle you. For the right person who is just as comfortable within themselves, they can handle you. I think it's just one of those things where you're basically just finding the balance. That's the class that you're in, basically. You are in the class of being comfortable, being Taylor, so that the right person, oh, that's nice. Thank you, beautiful. Um, the right person is on their way into your orbit. I think it's more a case of you cleaning up some of your own feelings of inadequacies. That's just the best way that I can put it, my love, because there's parts of yourself that you kind of hold back. And the person that they have in mind for you, the person that you're trying to manifest in your orbit, loves you in all of your fullness. So if you're constantly trying to manifest somebody that is, capable of that, and yet you're still in that place where you're not allowing for yourself to be all that you are, it can be tricky. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's a class for you. I am seeing, oh no, that's okay. That's okay. ML, I think we're coming up to you. I want to say, yeah, we're coming up to you soon, ML. We are coming up to you soon. Um, we're doing Taylor, and then we've got Raphael. If Raphael is actually still here, we've got Isabel. I know she's probably still in the room. That's fine. I'll probably be able to find her question. So that's cool. Certainly. It's okay, beautiful people. I love that. But no, I think it's one of those things where as long as you continue to work at that, I'm hearing April for you. I know that seems like a long way away. You will be able to get like teachers along the way. So you might have situations. I'm only seeing at least just one situation. It depends on if you allow for yourself to, I guess, be tested anymore. Um, but yeah, I'm seeing April for things to really actually like start to move in the direction where you feel like you found a potential that you can actually like give yourself to, and you're comfortable in seeing how things play out. And they're a nice fit for you. Like they're a nice fit. Like they love your big bubbly personality, and they have enough quirk themselves to be able to complement it. Okay. It's just that you're still going through the process. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is, my love. You're still going through the process. And I'm telling you, the person that you end up with, oh my God, like you guys are like this, okay? You guys are like this. Like they are BFF vibes. Like they're your friends, lover, companion. Like you guys are very, very close. So the more comfortable you get in your own skin, the more they're able to kind of align to your orbit, because they don't want the censored version of Taylor. They need the uncensored Taylor, because that's the person that they're here to basically experience life with. So once you get to that place, my love, you'll be able to yeah, you'll be able to experience it. It's nice. Yeah. It is worth the wait. Trust me, it's worth the wait. Like I see you guys literally like just being completely weird together and just loving each other for it. So don't worry about it. Divine timing. Divine timing. Trust me, they'll definitely be worth it. Okay. Right. That's all I've got for you, Taylor. That's all I've got. I hope that that was useful for you, my love. Let's have a look. Raphael. I don't know if Raphael, I said it before, I don't know if Raphael is in the room, but I know Isabel's definitely here because I've seen her in the chat. Yep, Isabel's here. Oh, yeah, I love that. Definitely, Louise. Definitely. Put some sprinkling of some blessings and love on that for her. Definitely. We appreciate you for that. Right, guys. Raphael, if you're still in the room, this is final call for you to like just drop that message back down. Just give it back to us. Just a little something. Because we yeah, it got lost in translation. It got lost in translation, my love. Unfortunately. Isabel, if I know Isabel's still here, so if you want to, oh, you guys are so sweet. We love that. Isabel, throw me your question out there again, beautiful. Oh, I like that. I love how you guys are just supporting. Oh, this is amazing. I love that, guys. Look at all the love that we're sharing, man. Right. I think I can see Isabel's question. I'm not too sure, actually. There's so much going on in the chat tonight. Right. Right. Isabel, my love, put your question back out there because I feel like my eyes are starting to do things now and I can't actually see what's going on. Don't worry, she's putting her question back out there. She's got this. Mm. There we go. There we go, Isabel. Now, this is a loaded question. Let's unpack it. Yes, you are on the right path. The issue, yeah, thank you. The issue is that you are working on your self-belief, my love. Okay, so it's great because you have faith and you believe in what it is that you're doing, and you know that God's got your back and the universe has your back, but you are not so sure about Isabel and Isabel's capabilities and what Isabel can do and what Isabel can get done. So the answer is yes, you are on the right path. the path that you're on is helping you to strengthen in your self-belief. It's helping you to strengthen in your faith in self. Um, a lot of the times what happens is, our soul has these grand dreams and we can feel those desires written on our hearts, but then our human, God, it's like all it's constantly focused on is the limitations and what could go wrong in the situation and what's not working right in the situation, and all of these, I guess, primitive aspects of the situation, because we're constantly, in most cases, in the critical mind. So your challenge, my love, should you choose to accept, is to actually grow in your self-belief. The universe believes in you, the universe supports you in what it is that you're doing. You're growing in a place where you actually can say, not am I on the right path, more so, how can I do more to continue to be serving as I move on my right path that I'm currently on? Because you're on the right path 100%. The questioning that you're kind of like going through at the minute is a part of helping you to build your self-belief. And once you've strengthened that self-belief, that's really where, just trying so hard with my anxiety right now because of, and I fully get that. I fully get that, my love. The thing is, the anxiety is showing up because your humans letting you know how much it matters to you. Your humans letting you know, and I like to have this clear division of the human experience versus the spiritual being having this human experience, because the human experiences things in a completely different way in comparison to the spirit that is in this body, that is like, I know what I'm doing, I'm sure of what I'm doing, I know what I came here to do, and let's get it done. Whereas the human's like, am I in the right place? Is it the right time? Did I miss it? Like the human aspect of ourselves is constantly navigating through a lot of doubts and a lot of fears. It's designed that way. That's why we chose humans this round, Anxiety is a natural part of the ascension process. It lets you know that you're in the panic zone and you're no longer in your comfort zone. So being in your panic zone, yeah, and that's fine. I understand, like, the last 3 years has probably been very, very crucial in mankind's evolution. We've been dealing with a lot. There's been a lot of imminent changes that have been taking place. What I would say to you about the anxiety, if you, I don't know, it might be worthwhile grabbing a pen now, or you can watch this back later, but chamomile is actually really good for anxiety. And another thing that I would say as well, sodalite crystal, that also helps with anxiety. It also helps basically for the throat chakra. The throat chakra is where we basically carry, that's where we activate our self-esteem basically. And if you're able to kind of like elevate your self-esteem, it actually then kind of lowers your high levels of anxiety a little bit. Basically what's happening is that your fear is on high alert. And it's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. You just got to learn to work with your human a little bit. The anxiety is there to let you know that your human is taking caution to the environment that you're in at the moment. Honestly, beautiful. You're not suffering, I guess, from OCD. You have been subjected to OCD for a while. And that's a lot of the times we develop OCD because of the lack of control that we have from childhood and the feelings of instability that we feel within our childhood. So it might be worthwhile just having a little bit of a look where you felt like you were out of control when it comes to certain situations, and like you didn't necessarily have a say in certain things that really impacted you psychologically and emotionally. and start working from there. Because what's happening is that when anxiety shows up, a lot of the times this is our childlike programming. And a lot of the times, even though we get older, we don't necessarily update the programming at the same time as we grow older. So it's one of those things. um Rebirth, maybe. Absolutely, absolutely. It's with anxiety, it's like your humans basically saying, I'm scared of this because I want it so bad, or I want to be on the other side of this so badly. When you find yourself in those situations, you just talk yourself through your anxiety. you know it Dismissing it isn't going to help. Pretending like it's not happening isn't going to help, because it's just going to keep resurfacing so that it can come up to be healed. The best thing to do is to actually talk yourself through the things that is making your human anxious in that part. I think we forget a lot of the times, we're so like used to being human. We forget how difficult it actually is to be human, and especially like being a spiritual being within a body that is very limited by the circumstances that it kind of goes through. It's just one of those things. I understand. And I remember when we spoke last time, you're still kind of like healing from the long-term abuse that you kind of like went through with the trauma of the 18-year long narcissistic misuse of your empathetic nature. The narcissist fed off your empathetic nature. So there's still a lot of healing that's taking place from that. But honestly, the anxiety as well is also your human asking, like, can I really trust you to make the best decisions for me? Like, are you going to keep me safe? Are you going to make sure that I'm secure in the process of whatever it is that you need to do whilst you're here in this body, learning how to grow and get better and be stronger and just evolve and be a greater version of yourself? um it is, and it isn't. It is and it isn't. Honestly, like I do work with people. If you guys are ever sort of like looking for assistance in some of the work that you're doing, drop me an email. Anxiety is tricky because there's so many different layers of anxiety. You can have social anxiety. There's so many different layers, because I was literally about to even like start reeling them off. But there's loads of different variants of anxiety. So you need to be able to diagnose sufficiently what aspect of anxiety you're actually engaging with, that you're actually dancing with, and figuring out how to find the rhythm with that layer of anxiety within yourself, and how to then actually how to end the dance. You don't just, I guess, tap out. You actually have to complete the dance and then finish up with a bow, and just remove yourself gracefully. It does take time, but you are going to keep growing in your self-belief. And I'm getting emotional, because I think it gets to a place for you personally where you're able to see yourself in a way where, I don't know, it's like you get this whole other layer of like genuinely loving yourself in a completely different way, though. In a completely different way, like in a way that you haven't actually experienced before. So I'm sending you so much love and light and just so much encouragement, my love, for navigating through this self-belief. You've got this. You've got this. You're not too emotional. Trust me. Never too emotional. The human is designed to be an emotional being. Okay. We have an emotional body to process emotions, because this is how energy flows. And this is how we have more of an understanding of ourselves as spiritual beings having these earthly experiences. So you kind of just have to accept that you're an emotional creature, and it's a case of learning how to work with your emotions. Never too emotional. It's just finding the right balance with being emotional. Okay. Yeah. They're saying that's all I've got for you. They are divine. They are absolutely divine. That's literally how we figure stuff out here. That's all good, my love. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. And here we are. The wonderful Hope's already updated us. Louise, I did say that ML was the last question, but I love the fact that you're out here with us again tonight. So after Louise, I'm literally doing overtime, guys. After Louise, that is literally the last question. She's out here like just blessing so many people with her light as well. It's the least that we could do. Give her a little something to go away with, reciprocity. We want to give what we've received, right, guys? So you cannot ask your question, Louise. Let's see. No, you're good. You're good. When you came, the list was already closed. The list was already clear. That's fine. I keep finding myself in these situations. Divine Beauty, are you still in the room, Divine Beauty? I think you are. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you're still here, Divine Beauty. You are still on the list, ML. Don't worry. You're still on the list. Don't worry, Emma. You're still on the list. We haven't forgotten you. So we've got Divine Beauty, Jadzia, and then we've got you. Okay. Don't worry. Hope has got this. She's got this. Okay. She's helping us keep it together. She's helping us keep the little dysfunctional family together, guys. Beautiful. Thank you, Divine Beauty. If you could throw your question out there again, because I don't think I can find it in the chat. If I'm not mistaken, there's so much that's happened in the chat tonight. Oh. Right. Divine Beauty. Can't see your question. So if you can throw that back out, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome. How am I meeting? Oh, yes. Oh, take care, Isabel. Thank you for stopping into the space with us. Oh, Divine Beauty. Let's this is a whole situation. Let's look at the energy, actually. I'm getting a completely different deck out for you, my love. Okay, because I'm seeing that is a loaded question, and you know why it's loaded. You know why it's loaded, Divine Beauty. I'm going to get some energy oracle guidance on this for you. Afro Sunset, drop me an email. Because the list is... No, don't be scared, Divine Beauty. Don't be scared. They've just asked me to get the energy oracle cards because that's the best way that they're going to be able to communicate, I guess, an answer to your question. Okay? Don't be scared. Then we got you. You're good. You're in good hands. Okay. Email me after sunset. We'll unpack some stuff. Right. So, how's the meeting going to go on Tuesday? Divine Beauty. What do you see? The meeting with the teachers. Girl. Half the deck just fell. Half the deck just fell. I don't want to alarm you, okay? Safe to say, okay? I'm gonna go and grab those. I'm gonna go and grab those, but I just had to, because even when you asked the question, I was like, well, this is going to be a whole situation. And it is a whole situation. Right, so what I can see with the situation, what's the dynamics between the teacher? Because I'm getting that there's like this, you guys don't necessarily, your energies don't go too well together. I want to say you guys are misunderstanding each other. I'm going to put it like that. I'm going to put it nicely. You guys are misunderstanding each other. What's the energy like between I'm seeing one or maybe two particular teachers. What's the energy like, Divine Beauty? Okay, give us some insight, give us some background, because they're showing us something here and I need to have more of an understanding so that I can give you an ultimate clarity. But I'm going to go grab the whole story that then fell over here, guys, whilst Divine Beauty gets us some answers. Oh, that is too funny. That is hilarious. Okay. Okay. It's about strategizing from what I can see, like how you actually navigate through the situation. I don't know. Hopefully she's typing to let us know like what the dynamic is with the teacher, because I'm seeing something about the energy just not being right. Just kind of like clashing the energy. Oh, no, you don't have to have a high blood pressure. It is going to come together, but there's going to be some things that are said. Yeah, there's going to be some things that are said basically that is unfavorable to you. But and however, this is a part of the learning process. You'll be able to get certain realizations from the conversation, and you'll actually learn a little bit more about. And they want to discuss our results with us. Yeah, you'll actually learn a little bit more about how to really sort of like how can I put it? How to be what part you play in like the team dynamic and stuff. I'm trying to find the words to like give to you with it. They're basically saying to me that there's potentially things that you did that would be undervalued or unappreciated. Um, this is just honestly, Hope, I would just get somebody else to attend the meeting, to be fair, or I'd hide the letters so that my mom doesn't turn up. Okay, that was my way of handling those situations. BTW. But yeah, I think from what I can see, things are actually going to be able to. It's going to be able to sort of end well, I guess. They'll be able to kind of like have good feedback, but there's also things that you did that's going to be unappreciated, or it's like there's things that you're doing or had done that isn't necessarily taken for it's taken for granted. Look, everybody's out here. We will feel your pain, honestly, Divine Beauty. We'll be sending out some prayers up there for you for your meeting on Tuesday. You know, it is going to unfold in the best way possible. But I feel like they're going to have some negative things to say as well. I feel like the part that you played it's going to be downplayed as well, from what I can see. Okay. The outcome is that you do get oh, you don't have to do anything, my love. You don't have to do anything. What I would say is, okay, let me not say that. What I would say to be able to empower you in this moment as you're navigating through the process of that, scripting, okay? Visualizing and scripting exactly how you actually want that situation to go. Because at the minute, from what I can see, there's work that you've done that is being downplayed and undervalued. So if you can put it out there, do your scripting to the universe very clearly about what aspects of what you did on the project that you'd like to get highlighted. That would definitely help to put things in your favor. You do got this. Absolutely, Louise. You got this. I think it's just one of those things where you're kind of really learning a little bit more about your patience in dealing with certain situations as well. Because I know that it was actually challenging being in that team dynamic and trying to figure everything out. But yeah, do some scripting. That's the recommendation for you. That's what they're saying to me. Do some scripting. It is going to actually overall is going to work out well for you, but there's going to be parts of what you did in the team dynamics that is basically going to be overlooked. Yes, yes, you will pass the class. Okay. What it is that your, how can I put it? You're probably you're probably just about able to kind of like get past it. But again, this is because you're in this low vibration of fear. Elevate your vibration, my love. Put it out there, claim it. Claim it. That's what you want to, have as far as the outcome. Put it out there. Tell the universe how you want your story to be narrated. And just walk into it. Walk into that timeline like you created it, like you manifested it, girl. That's all I can say, my love. Walk into it like it was intentional. Okay. Do some scripting, do some visualization, tell the universe what you want as far as the actual outcome of the situation. And you'll be surprised to see what sort of comes. You're just about skimming it, though. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, that's because no, you're fine. Oh, don't breathe. Breathe. Oxygenate your mind. Don't let the fear convince you that it's real. It's just a response to your to the external environment that you're going through. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, Louise. I know it was a weird team dynamic, which is why you weren't able to kind of like shine in the way that you wanted to as well. Like it was a real struggle because it felt almost like you were kind of like just being pushed to the side at certain aspects of the situation because other people just wanted to do what they were doing. Um, and that's cool, it's a part of the learning process. I guess as a team you guys will be able to pass, and personally for yourself, yeah, you'll do it, but you just kind of have to be mindful as you're moving forward, um how you're actually showing up as less than yourself in certain situations. Because, yes, I know what it's like when we're sometimes around big personalities. It kind of naturally like puts us in this place where we kind of start to dim, to make room for those personalities in the environment. But yeah, this is just a part of the learning process of you being able to continue to grow in your own personality. It's all good. Do some scripting, do some visualizing, put some prayers on it. We're definitely going to put some positive intentions out there for you, and all will be good. All will be good. I promise. It will be good. You just kind of have to try your best to shift this fear that you're navigating through, because the fear will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's what you don't want to do, because the fear will basically block you from your blessing, and it will be a tough and challenging lesson to learn. And you don't want to manifest that. You've already put enough energy, you've already fed the fear enough up until this point. Use this moment as your opportunity moving forward to be empowered, enough to be able to choose how you want the outcome to be moving forward. Okay. Fear is a choice. It's not a compulsion. We don't actually have to choose it. It's just a timeline that we are being made aware of. Okay. You can choose this timeline. And if we continue to feed the fear, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. And we don't want to do that. We're all out here putting so much positivity over the space for you. Trust me, you got this. You're good. Okay. Thank you for coming back into the room. You're good. Whew. Y'all. Uh, oh. That's okay. That's okay, Louise. Thank you so much, my love. Hmm. No, it's all good. It's all good, guys. I am. Y'all see, I'm like an hour over what I done told God I was coming in here to do. But this is how he gets me all the time. He's like, oh, just 90 minutes, come on, chill, vibe, catch up. Jadzia, I don't even know if Jadzia is still in the building. More than likely. More than likely. Jadzia, are you still here? Yeah, Jadzia was here like 8 minutes ago. More than likely, Jadzia is still here. If you are, my love, put your question out there and let's unpack it. Louise has basically highlighted that she's received what she's needed to hear for tonight. So she's good. Oh, it's okay. Honestly, like this is when you're employed by God, honestly, you just kind of have to show up for work, didn't you? Oh God. See, you have to take the job seriously. Um, this pandemic times would like to visit him or he me. Oh, Jadzia. Okay. Yes, please, Emma. Post your question. Okay. Post your question. We're definitely going to be able to unpack that for you as the last person of the night. Oh, okay. Yes, you after Jadzia. Oh, that's okay, beautiful. That's okay. That's all good, guys. Love sitting into this space with you guys. They're giving me a little bit of a timeline with you, Jadzia, with the situation that you're navigating through. Um, you guys will be able to kind of do the traveling situation. It is something that's on the cards, but and however, nothing this year, my love. Nothing this year. From what I can see, what they're kind of setting you up for, the stars, um, are aligned for something potentially in the first 3 months of next year. And why I say that is because even then, it's still like a pondering thought. Question, Jadzia, are either of you guys decisive? Because I'm seeing that there's a lot of indecision involved, which is why it takes some time um, to actually be able to make a decision and actually commit to it. So are both of you guys a little bit indecisive in different ways? Um, yeah, it's not the right time. The universe is really just the stars haven't aligned for it just yet as far as this year, but between January to the end of March next year, I wouldn't even say the end of March. I want to say between January to the third week of March is when it seems like that's aligned for you guys. Yeah, exactly, Jadzia. It's the indecision thing is the main thing that is prolonging the timeline from what I can see with it. And there's also a lot of other factors to the situation as well, but it does happen early next year. It's not, the ideal situation that you guys would like, but love has a tendency of enduring so much, and this is just the time of absence, of physical absence, is just a testament to what your love can endure, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so just bask in it. Utilize the time that you guys have individually to keep nurturing yourselves and pouring into yourselves individually. And when you guys actually do get together, oh, it fills my heart with joy because it's just, yeah, it feels like you guys are like so attached to each other. Um, Yeah, you guys are just like, it's like you guys actually don't even want to leave as well. You guys are just always connected and it feels like it's well worth the wait. So don't try your best not to worry about the timing because when it happens, it'll be good. It'll be good. Okay. And you guys will both feel like this, my love, actually helps you guys to break a little bit of the indecision pattern, just a little bit. Okay. Because you guys know that you want each other and you guys actually grow into a deeper commitment of trying to work at making things work as well. So this is just a natural part of the journey for you guys. Okay. Hope, have I always been psychic? Yes. I'm fourth generation psychic, actually. My great grandmother was a psychic. So it's in my blood, I guess. I am probably one of the only ones to practice. She is my main guide, my gatekeeper in the ethereal realms, and she has been my trainer for the last few years as well. And sometimes I can't get them to shut up unless I actually decide to disengage and disconnect. So I have always been this way. It's not something I've always loved about myself, but it's something that I've grown into acceptance of because that's the lineage that I chose. So those are some of the abilities that comes with that lineage, and by grace of God, I actually have certain responsibilities, which is why I come into the space here because yeah, that's how God has requested it. He's asked me to lighten you guys' load for tonight. That's okay. That's okay, Jadzia. I appreciate you for stopping in and just putting your question out there. Can I tell you the 5 words? That is what I absolutely must do from now and help me face fear. I need to get help from hearing. I know you have, ML. Don't worry, I got you. Face fear. I need to get help. I needed to get from hearing the words you spoke. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes sometimes we get definitely last but not least. Last but definitely not least. Sometimes we just get a little bit, caught up in the journey that we're going through. And we have to understand like as much as we're like navigating through all of these things, our human's the one that's actually being impacted by all of this stuff. And our human is constantly trying to interpret all of these elements that we're navigating through. So we just have to give grace, give grace as much as we would like to have it be received. We have to give it to ourselves as well. We have to learn how to become our human's friend. that's that part. Okay, because sometimes we're so tough on ourselves, but we're so loving to everybody else, right? How does my person truly feel about me? Oh, Kanchan, you came in late. ML was going to be the last one. We said we was going to give Louise an opportunity to ask a question. I think last week you wanted to have an additional question. Um, email me. Email me, my love. Email me. We'll see what I can get done for you guys over the weekend. I'm filming this weekend to get the guidance up for next week to see what the angels have in store for us next week as far as any insights they can provide. So ML wants to know, how does my person truly feel about me, as I feel it's one-sided maybe, or they just seem interested in someone else. I'm sorry, I'm literally just receiving the insight. I'm receiving what it is that they're trying to explain to me because this is a very complicated situation here, ML. So I want to be able to really dissect it. Yes, please, Kanchan. Much appreciated. Do you know what, Hope? I'm actually in the process. I'm going to do because they've been trying to get me to write a book for like ever, but I'm dyslexic because I'm constantly in channels, so it's hard for me to focus on the physical. But I'm actually working on a piece. So your intuition on that, I do dance. I'm actually working on an artistic piece to articulate my story through dance. So that's coming for you guys soon on the channel. Watch out for that. Right. So this is what I want to say to you, ML, as far as your person, right? There's there's other people. I guess there's a third party situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a romantic interest because sometimes we have third party and we're like, oh my God, what does this mean? It simply just means that there's somebody else outside of the situation. Um, yeah. I know. That's my email there. My email scrolling across the screen, Kanchan. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Hope. I appreciate you so much. You've been an amazing helper throughout the space tonight. Yeah. So, ML, the situation with your person is that they love you, but they're confused because there's a third party outside of the space between you and them that they are having to consider. Um, any children involved? Just so that I can kind of get an understanding of maybe the dyna. Okay, okay, okay. Children. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not you per se. I think they're just really trying to figure out how to actually go through the process of they're trying to figure out how to go through the process of being able to um navigate through the space because there are children involved. So it is quite a sensitive situation. Um and they're also okay, they're also having issues. Their co-parenting situation isn't necessarily the best. um so it's not as simple of a situation. um they do have feelings, they do have feelings for you. It's just it's complicated. I don't know how else to put it in the nicest possible way, Emma. Their shit looks messy. It just looks messy. It looks so messy. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on over in their space. They just don't necessarily have the room to really be able to. They do like you. They do like you. They do like you. The main thing is that everything else that's going on is very messy. It's very chaotic and disorganized. So they actually don't know where your place would actually be in all this chaos. They just don't know. They don't know where your place would be in all of this chaos, and how they'd actually be able to, how you'd actually adapt, I guess, to the environment. Um, and I'm also hearing that a part of them seeming kind of distant is a way that they feel like they're actually protecting you, from some of the chaos that they're actually navigating through. Um, No, and I can understand. I know it can seem a little bit confusing, but yeah, they like you. They more than like you. I want to say they like you. Um, it's just that their situation right now is very, very complicated, and there's a lot of factors to the situation. I don't even believe you will though, ML. I just gotta keep it real. I I didn't even believe that you will. You might say that you let it go, but then it's like the next person that comes along, you're still comparing them to this person. So do you really let it go? It's like, oh, well, they don't really kind of like make me feel like this person, or I don't kind of like have the same chemistry with them as I did with this person, or yeah, they're just not spiking my emotions the way that this person does. So do you really let them go? I mean, you can tell yourself you've let them go, but have you deleted them from your hard drive? Probably not. So what let's see. Let's give ML some overall guidance in terms of romance, guys. What's the guidance for them as they navigate through the process with their person? Because this is so complicated. There's so much going on with the situation. Okay. Okay. I want to show you the cards so that you can see as well. Okay. It says free yourself. Now, before you go ahead, okay, and start saying, oh my God, this means I need to run. What it means is you might need to free yourself from some of the limiting beliefs that you're carrying on the situation. Sometimes we're trying to manifest timelines for ourselves, and literally, we are the ones that are holding ourselves back by the way that we're perceiving these timelines. I can't tell you how many times my guides will show me a timeline, and my human is here quivering, like, oh my God, I hope I can do that in the way that like you guys have just shown it to me. And my guy's like, girl, it's you. Like, it's you. What do you mean I hope I can do that? Like, it's you. It's your life path. It's your life course. It's your destiny. You kind of just have to shift the mindset a little bit. They do have a lot on their plate at the minute, and it's just bad timing. That's all it comes down to right now. It's just really bad timing. Give them some time to be able to move into a little bit of a more adjusted place, because right now they're just not, things are just, this is what I'm seeing on their energy at the minute. Like, it just feels like static. There's a lot going on in their space, there's a lot going on in their orbit, and they're still just trying to figure out how to juggle everything. So yeah, you kind of just have to no, it's okay, beautiful. Thank you for just putting the question out there, because I think with the situation, you being able to kind of just, I guess, be a silent support in ways, it just encourages them even more, and they actually draw closer to you as well in the process of that. And it's just a case of timing on the situation. They will get better. I promise you, they will get better at juggling all of these things. I think that they're not in a confident place at the minute. They're struggling with feeling as though they've got their stuff together to really handle what's going on. But they'll get better. Okay. For them, this is a tricky one, because I'm seeing that their stuff doesn't actually like properly adjust until how do you stop thinking about them? I'm not going to say you're not going to stop thinking about them, but I think it's about what you do with what you think about them. So when those thoughts, those files that are there, you're getting those uploads. A lot of the times when we're thinking about people, they're naturally engaging in thought with us as well, and of us as well. So it's about how you actually choose to engage with the thoughts that you have of him. So you can utilize those thoughts to create the timelines that you'd like to see. Obviously, because of the mirrored principle, the manifesting, is going to be delayed, because we have to obviously go through the process on the linear concept. So if you utilize the actual time that you use to think about them, eventually it's one of those things where you can shift the paradigm a little bit. just a little bit, enough for them to be able to ground themselves in all of the chaos that they're navigating through and be able to see you again. Because I feel like they definitely have like for you, but at the minute it just feels like they're so lost in everything that they're going through. It's a struggle for them to be able to see you, my love. Okay. And I mean, see you, like really see your presence there and really be able to bask in it and appreciate it. Okay. But yeah, I'm seeing a timeline, potentially end of May, early June, before they really actually adjust like properly to their timeline. And it feels like things feel a little bit more stable, where you're not at a place where you're questioning things. You're actually feeling a little bit more secure about how things are unfolding. Okay. Just give it some time. This whole, time thing is a struggle. Trust me. But things do start to move, I guess, around about that time next year for you guys. It's just a lot of stuff right now. A lot of chaos has to be worked through. Okay, my loves. That is pretty much it. God, it's 1:30 in the morning. That was a long one tonight, guys. That was even longer than last time. But thank you guys for stopping into the space and hanging out with me. It was nice to just come and stop in and chill with you guys. Um, yeah. No, it's okay, beautiful. I'm glad that you stopped into the space and you just kind of put it all out there and you were willing to share with us. Just keep doing what you're doing. Trust me. There's a path that has been designed solely for you, and the journey is unfolding and revealing itself to you as you kind of continue to commit to it, you know? And it would have been easy for me to be like, oh yeah, just forget about him, move on, and all that kind of stuff. Truth is, he's still in your hard drive. Okay, so you just kind of have to let that part of the situation be what it is, and just accept that and keep it going. Oh, it's okay, man. It's all good. That's what I'm here for. That's honestly what I've been employed for. That's what I've been employed for. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Sweet dreams to everybody as well. I'll definitely be keeping up the dancing. I appreciate you guys so much. Full joy the rest of you guys' night. I'm going to sign off and move into the other galaxies for the rest of the night. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for making this an interesting Friday night, as always. Love you guys. Sending so much positivity for everything that you guys are navigating through at the minute. And I'll see you guys next Friday. Okay, my loves? Mwah. Take care, guys. Ta-ra! Ah. I did get you. All good.